it. We are here, REALMigos, with a special guest, Raj. I'm going to say it wrong. Sahu.
Exactly it. It's like Yahoo with an S.
Yes, sweet. And Ian of Georgetown?
Ian of Austin.
But you're in Georgetown now, right?
I'm moving again.
Moving again. Buy another investment property. Good for you, man.
I'm going, man. I'm moving.
All right, welcome to REALMigos. We got a great guest. Raj is on tonight. Yes, you've seen Raj's videos. I wasn't fast enough to pull up his YouTube channel, but he does have a YouTube channel in the Austin area. He's my big competitor here in Austin. Him and what's that other dude's name? Ian of Austin, but who's that other guy?
There's another Ian.
Suman. Oh yeah, I know Ian. Ian and I actually talk all the time.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
I just ran into Suman at an open house. Good guy.
Good guy. Yeah. I talked to him the other day because somebody decided to run a class teaching people how to, steal other agents' YouTube leads?
Yeah,
or something crazy like that. So, yeah. By the way, if you're that guy and you're watching, I did file 3 complaints against you. Yeah, good one. Smart idea running that. All right, tonight's sponsor. Can we get it? Bardstown. This is a Kentucky Fusion bourbon. They paid me $1 million to sponsor this tonight. That's a lie. They paid me $0. Tried it. It's okay. Yeah, I get it. If I had to do a one sip taste, I gave it a 6.2. All right. We are here. We are tonight going to talk about all of the gossip going on in the Austin area. Raj has got some good stuff. Ian is going to talk about something really spectacular. And then I just got a barn burner coming. So, anyway, Raj, give yourself a quick plug.
Sure. Yeah. My name's Raj Sahu, realtor in Austin, Texas. I primarily work on a lot of new construction here in Austin, and I'm an aspiring REALMigo.
Aspiring REALMigo. So he's trying out for the 3rd Migo in the Austin area. So Mark, I need you to really hit him with the hard questions tonight. And I'm sure we're going to have Master Jedi on at some point. Hopefully he's Dinosaur D is falling off. Where's Dinosaur D? Matt, welcome back. How hard is it to achieve the 1% rule as a landlord in the Austin area? Man, I don't even think you can do that. You know what the 1% rule is, Raj?
Yeah, the rent equals 1% of the purchase price of the home. That's never been possible, right? I've
been here in Austin a long time, and I doubt that. My first time I paid $275, and I probably could have rented it out for $2. So that's as close to probably that 1% rule. Anyway, yeah. So there you go. Raj, did you bring a mullet by chance?
No mullet. I'm trying to check if I have any hat head from wearing my Oculus virtual reality. That headset seems to do some damage, but not enough hair for that.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. So we got that out of the way. What's been going on, Ian? How are you doing this week? Has it been crazy in Austin?
You know, I've been hit with a few investor purchases that have been we've been playing in the sandbox a lot. So that's quite interesting. I'm excited to see some more action. And I think similar to what we talked about last week, we have just the pressure is building. I think knowing that people are going to start listing more properties, and then there's going to be more buyers, and everybody's trying to get in before the interest rates climb. And so these investors want to take advantage before it gets too competitive.
Right. I'm running the same thing. I feel like this week I've been a lot busier with a lot of different stuff, a lot of different investor stuff happening. What's interesting is, I don't know, do you guys ever look at AREA, the Facebook group for realtors?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I noticed a common theme this week, and I bust up laughing, is all these agents like, oh, it's so slow. Nobody's coming to my listing this week. Oh, it's so slow. The market's turning. And I started looking at their listings. What do you think I noticed most about their listings?
Cell phone pictures.
You know.
That, and then pricing is a little off.
They were way the hell overpriced. I'm like, This is like 30 grand overpriced where it should be based on the comps. No wonder nobody wants to pay. Like, I get that people hear that the market's super crazy, but if you overprice, you automatically start getting buyers not showing up at your home. That's the key. You price the home right and the market takes over. You price the home wrong and the market sticks it right where the sun don't shine. So, I mean, go ahead.
And Raj had mentioned the cell phone pictures. That's like
It's
an
a big
incredible point. But then also you add to that some people are like, well, I can take cell phone pictures, I can price it high, and I don't have to do anything to repair it. Somebody's going to pay for it. You can't have 3 strikes. That's not good for your business. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, look, a lot of people, this is pretty spot on. CNBC saying that the 30-year rate's just past 5. Wow, I didn't see just past 5. But I think this is starting to push a lot of buyers that would have been in the pool out. But we're looking at the market today, and we're about 2,000 units on the market right now today, which is interesting to me because if you every week we come on and tell you like, hey, today's a day earlier than Wednesday. Usually Wednesdays when we see the least amount. So I'm curious to see how far below 2,000 we go. If we stay tomorrow above 2,000, I'll be like, awesome. We're starting to see inventory stack up a little bit, which is a tiny bit. But I've found, like Raj, I found a lot of success this week in new build off market stuff. It's a thing. It happens. You just got to know the right people.
Raj, you have any new build off market deals you want to share?
Yeah, right.
You gotta ask, man. You gotta ask. I actually like Mark's question. Can you pull that up on the screen? This is a well-timed question.
Are builders allowing investors again? New builds in Georgetown, Liberty Hill, Leander last year were not taking investor purchases.
To answer that, I am not seeing that they are. Anyone else seeing that? And it makes sense that they should soon if they. It makes sense that they should. I feel like they should, but I haven't seen that.
There was a community in Leander, Larkspur with Milestone that was for a little. They did that when there was a bit of a slowdown in fall of last year, and then that stopped very quickly. And I'm sure it stopped because they saw a flood of buyers.
Well, and I think I'm seeing that happen. So some neighborhoods, some communities, they'll do like a 10% of the first opening phase. They'll allow 10% of investors to go in and buy. And then after that, they're like, no, cut it off. So that could have been November. I wonder if they were doing a new phase in Larkspur around that time. Do you know?
I don't recall. I didn't have anybody interested, but I just remember getting the email for it, but then it just didn't last very long.
No, I saw that one too. But that one was tough because the pricing, I want to say, was getting close to 700, right?
Right.
Larkspur,
the price to ratio definitely didn't make any sense, but for maybe like a 1031 exchange or something like that could work.
Yeah, I think that's the tough part too. Is like I'm starting to get investors that are buying. Ian, your mic. I'm starting to get investors buying in Circle C again that are buying like $800,000 to $900,000 homes that are in good shape. And what we're doing is staging them. And this isn't Circle C, but we've had this happen recently, staging them and doing 3 or 6 month rentals. And then you're getting a lot closer to that number. Because look, you have so many buyers that are here temporarily that either are going to be buying or they need to rent while their home is being built. And so, I mean, there's a massive market for that. The problem in Austin is that you can't Airbnb. You really can't Airbnb unless you live in the home. So the problem you run into is you can't just get a home and then Airbnb it. It's something you run into. So unless you have like an ADU. So, but doing that, you're going to spend 25 grand more on furniture and doing all that, but you're going to be making how much? Well, let's see. How do you do the math on this one? 55 to, I mean, you're talking 35% more a month in rent. So I don't know. But I did see I have some investors buying stuff in New Braunfels right now. There are a couple in San Antonio. We got an investor in a contract over the week in San Antonio. So, and numbers made sense. So,
and not to spend much time on San Antonio because it's San Antonio, but that's one of those places where prices don't seem to fly.
Yeah.
You know, they don't rise abruptly like they have been here.
It's interesting because they're getting pretty expensive in San Antonio.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
the stuff.
It's a slow burn, man. Slow burn.
Speaking of burning, did you see my video? I haven't posted it on YouTube yet, but did you see my video
No.
about
I
burning?
don't watch your content. You don't watch mine.
That's right. Raj, no offense, I don't watch. I literally, like, people ask me like, "Oh, do you know this realtor?" That I don't watch anybody else's content. I don't have time to. I have a client, so I'll post a video tomorrow on a YouTube short. I had a client who's under contract on a property in San Antonio. It's a condo, really nice, like 3-story condo. And somebody was going through and burning down the condo. So they go in the middle of the night, burn them down. They burnt down 4. One of them was my client's, and another agent at our brokerage burned theirs down in University City. But it was a 16 and 17-year-old that were going through and burning them down.
Wow.
You know what? You did put that on Instagram, and I did watch that. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and
it's got to be.
What's stalking me, Ian?
That's the algorithm doing it. I try not to.
I'm not on Instagram much, but I definitely watch your content. Disappointed that that's not reciprocated, but that's okay.
Yeah, so, dude, don't take offense to it. A good friend of mine, Brad McCallum's got one of the largest YouTube channels for even Javier, who was on 2 weeks ago. His thing will come up my feed. I may watch a video. So don't take offense to it. Master Jedi, look, Master Jedi, we have Raj on tonight. We're going to need you to grill him a little bit. He's interviewing for Third Migo, doesn't have a mullet. So Master Jedi, get him. All right, so let's go. What?
Did we talk about changing his name to Primary Jedi? Was that a conversation?
Small Jedi?
Yeah, something else.
Yeah.
Main Jedi?
This is a sad one. So I actually had lunch. With Kevin today. There's no animosity there, everybody. It's good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about Kevin. We love Kevin. We're gonna bring him on and we're gonna talk NFTs because I talked to him for 2 hours a day about NFTs. Holy crap! It was like this far over my head. So,
man, I was buying an NFT right before here, right before we hopped on this. We'll talk about that later, though.
Okay, good. I think Ian, get out of here. All right, so let's go. I want to hear the gossip. What's the gossip, guys? Let's go. Who's up first? Raj, you're the guest. You to go first. Gossip.
Absolutely. I'll start with some builder gossip. I was talking to a builder rep for another builder out in Pflugerville, where there's just a handful of communities. And one of the communities, they already had the land sectioned off for kind of future expansion. And the rumor is that Taylor Morrison bought all of it. Now, is that on, the development side, and will they sell it to other builders? I think that's a big question. But it seems like Taylor Morrison is just doubling, tripling, quadrupling down in Austin in terms of its land acquisition, and then just taking all the lots and selling them. In fact, there was another community in Leander where it's Pulte and Taylor Morrison. Pulte's actually the developer, and the remaining 70 and 80 foot wide lots, Taylor Morrison's doing all of it, even though Pulte was the decision maker. So it's really interesting that that's happening, especially for one of the builders that was first to do bidding, and that does only bring up some lots at a time. I like Taylor Morrison. I think they have great plans. I don't like bidding like everyone else. I know you don't like them, Jeremy, right?
Look, if I have a client that wants to go with them, I'm just going to give them the pros and cons. I'm honest with everybody. But like their lots now, if you want to bid on their lots, I got this email the other day. If you want to bid on their lots, the minimum bid is $200,000 for their lots. That's insane.
Is that in your favorite community?
Yeah, not Treviso.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, and then like some of their other stuff was like listed at like 850. I think they're trying to get it to sell over $1 million. So I saw a few of their emails that come out, but I'm not a fan of that. I honestly, I don't like how they're treating realtors as well. That's my other thing. For a consumer to come in and have representation, somebody who's on your side, and the builder treats them like crap.
It's the amalgamation of all the things. You have the lots, You have the way they treat the realtor, sometimes
Way
the
to treat
way
the
they
client.
treat the consumer,
The consumer. Yep.
the consumer, yeah. Sometimes the way they treat them, and like escalation clauses, which we've talked about at length on this channel. And those are things that, you know, if they are the controlling force, nobody can do anything about it. Nobody can do anything. And that's scary when they're a premium product and kind of forcing their hand as a monopolistic
But
company.
hold on, are they really a premium product?
No. But
They're
they're
a premium
positioning
price
themselves
product.
as that, positioning themselves as a premium product.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can say you have a premium product, price the heck out of it. It doesn't make it a premium product. You still have to put quality ingredients in it. Or sorry,
This is the
I'm baking
United
cakes
States
again.
where you can just say you're number one. You don't have to prove it.
Yeah. Isn't there a realtor in your neighborhood saying they're number one, right? Isn't that your next
Yeah.
your next thing?
You're not talking to me.
Yeah. Yes. So I saw I'm doing a video with Story Built in a week. I've been playing phone tag with them. They picked up a lot of lots on the east side. So they keep pushing me back because obviously all of their build stuff keeps getting back, but I'm doing a video with them, meeting with them, shooting about all of their stuff on the east side. So that there's a lot of stuff coming up. I mean, are you guys seeing other stuff that's going to be building out soon? I know there's like, I think I did a video about this, but then I deleted it. I can't remember if I did or not. What else are you seeing, Raj?
I'm seeing a lot of movement starting to come back in Liberty Hill. So there's different parts of Santa Rita Ranch that was once upon a time just a 6,000 home community, and now I think it's around 10,000 homes. And it just seems like a never-ending expansion out that area. And with the 183 corridor now finally getting extended up until 29, and then possibly even further up north from there, it just seems like Liberty Hill is going to do exactly what north of Frisco in Dallas did, which back in the day, people got priced out of Plano. They went to Frisco. Now everyone's going north of there. It seems like Austin and that northwest corridor is just following suit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a video about that too coming up. I can't keep giving away all my videos. But yeah, there's still a lot of movement that way, even to Georgetown as well. Georgetown. What's that one north of that you really love? There's a mouse company that was supposed to be building a place there, and we got in trouble for that.
I think it starts with a J. Jarrell?
Jarrell.
Jonah.
Jarrell Salado. Yeah. So that was the other news. So a while ago, we put a video out talking about the mouse company buying up land. I've heard a lot of things since recently. I think they're just doing a retirement community there. That guy that came on and said that it was going to be a theme park, I kind of think he's wrong. What are your thoughts?
I don't know that he directly said that's what the reason was.
Nope. He did. He said it will be a theme park. I still have the clip on YouTube, but unlisted. So I'll put it up for a day so I can get sued.
Thousands of acres. They wouldn't do that for a retirement community, right?
I guess it was like 7,900 acres they bought.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's
got park written all over it, right?
Here's my rumor. If you don't file your tax exemption or your homestead exemption by April 30th, it's going to be a problem for you. That's a rumor. It's a rumor and a fact.
What do you think is going to happen this year with taxes? I really enjoy how AISD, all the school districts go, oh, we're lowering your taxes. We're lowering how much we're taking from you. Number one, AISD is having to lay people off because if you when the money comes in for these school districts, like a big district like AISD, half of it goes back to the state to be redistributed other places. So not even all the money that comes from our tax dollars goes locally. Half of it goes to the state. They're having to lay off people because people aren't enrolling their their kids in the AISD. They're going to charter schools or they're not even moving here. I'm one of them.
That actually brings me to my next conversation topic. There's this term floating around called micro schools. Have you heard that? Like little handful of students, kind of like not charter, but maybe self-taught, but they've got someone monitoring the education process. So almost like homeschooled, but in a group setting, because like you said, people are leaving these different school districts. And if you've got these teachers that have been teachers for 10 years and they're moving on and trying to build their own business, which is really popular in Austin, then I could see that becoming a thing.
But okay, so back to so yes, I know a lot of people that are taking their kids out of AISD. So AISD is having to lay people off, and it's a whole mess with AISD. But that being said, they're saying they're lowering their taxes, but your valuation goes up every year. So with the valuation going up, you're still paying more to AISD taxes. You're still paying more to the train that will probably never be built in Austin. You're still paying more to that because your valuations of your homes are going to go up. Do y'all think that taxes, we're going to see a huge spike in taxes this year?
I think we could. Yeah. I mean, it's certainly possible. There are communities, though, that are lowering taxes each year, right? So I was just in Leander the other day, and Bluffview was down from 2.55 to 2.35. Santa Rita, which you highlighted.
But okay, so that's good that
right?
they do that, right?
Yeah.
So they drop it from 2.5 to 2.3, but the tax rates will drop down in every neighborhood over time. They're not going to always stay at 3%. The challenge is, though, even if they drop you from 2.5 to 2.3 and they evaluate your home $100,000 more, let's do the math. Keep talking, I'll do the math. But so they're dropping. Go ahead.
Yeah, and there is an end point to that dropping. I don't want people to get too excited. They drop forever until they're at nothing. No, that's not how it works. The tax rate has it's not a ceiling. What is it? A basement if it's not a ceiling? A floor? So the tax rate has a floor. And once you hit that, then your prices still go up. Your tax rates do not decrease unless there's some kind of political change. And even then, I don't know that I've seen that.
And even with the floor, they'll figure out how to utilize the tax dollars, right? There's always a way to kind of keep spending money, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Like bonuses to friends and family or whatever. Right. Aaron says, well, overall taxes on properties can only go up 10% max a year, right? So I would say if it's a primary residence and you have a homestead exemption, then that should be true.
So I did the math. At 2.5, they value your house last year at 2.5. At $500,000, you're paying almost $12,000 in taxes. This year, if they value your home at $650,000, which we've seen a lot of homes go up $150,000 in value, if they value it there, it goes from almost $12,000 to almost $15,000. It's a $3,000 increase. So even though they dropped it from 2.5 to 2.3, if they raise the valuation, you're still going to see more tax dollars come out of your account. So yeah, they cap it at 10%, but they're going to try to raise it. Like, you still have to protest your taxes. So they will still say, hey, your new valuation is going to be this. You still have to protest that. Like, does that make sense? Am I making sense, guys?
No, it makes perfect sense. So if you're an investor and you've got, a handful of rental properties, that's a very different conversation than if you're living in your primary residence, especially your investment properties. Those you probably want to protest because those are generally going to be a higher spike.
And this is false. Well, overall taxes on properties can only go up 10%. That is 100% false. If you have a homestead, your homestead can go up. If you have that homestead on, it's 10%. But last year they tried to raise mine still over what the 10% was. So mine went up like $2,500. I was like, no, this isn't going to work. So we had to protest. So they'll still try to raise it over, and it's up to you to protest. Is my whole point.
Have you both gotten back your valuations on your homes?
No, they come out in May. Ian, you had a guy on from the tax districts on, and they keep telling me about it. That guy did get in trouble for coming on your channel, right?
He got in trouble for saying that he worked for the tax district, but he was like on the board or something. But because he wasn't employed, he wasn't at liberty to share some information. It was something like that. But he got his hands smacked. Well, I
What
mean,
was it?
we did a whole episode on it and was basically explaining how the taxes are broken down, what they're paying to, and how there is kind of a default ceiling because, like Raj said, you have to spend the money, like you have to find a way to put the money somewhere, and if it's not, it's got to be clean. So they can't just up it 80% and then give it all to the schools. It doesn't work like that. So there is kind of a built-in ceiling, but I don't know how that works. And that's what he was explaining on that episode.
Well, right. There's a built-in ceiling about how much they can take in. But what happens if there's a built-in ceiling, they assess all these homes and it's well over that ceiling? What do they do with the slush fund?
Well, I think that was part of it. I don't know the answer to that. And he tried to explain it pretty well. And maybe that's why he got his hand slapped, because if you say the wrong thing and you're on the board, I don't know that that's allowed.
I missed it, Ian. There was no answer, or was it just no refunds? They just figure out a way to spend the money later?
No. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
We've done a lot of episodes. I don't remember that particular response.
I'm curious. If anybody knows anybody that works at a tax district that wants to get in trouble coming on my channel, I'd love to talk to them and bring them on.
You know, I've tried like so many teachers and city workers and stuff like that. Everybody's afraid. Nobody wants to do it. Everyone's like, nah, I don't want to get in trouble. It's like, and you know what? I get it. But there's so many job opportunities. Speaking of, that's my next rumor. There are so many people moving to Austin that the airport won't be able to keep up. Is that a rumor?
I don't think that's true. I think that's a straight fact.
That's happening right now.
Every Monday, they talk about how many people are having to go through the airport on the local news.
And then
they're hiring. If anybody needs a job, that's like if you're looking for a job in the Austin area right now, there are a lot of opportunities. There really are. So even if you don't want to be a TSA worker, they're hiring, and I think they're paying okay. So.
If your property is in a land trust, how does the tax authority know if it's a rental or owner occupied? I still feel like you have to still put that as a homestead, right? Wouldn't you still have to homestead that? Do you know the answer to that? I'm pretty sure you still have to homestead it.
Pretty sure you'd have to homestead. And why wouldn't you if you were actually staying in the property?
Yeah. But usually if you have a land trust like that, you're going to have exemptions because you're going to have cattle on there. You're going to have, ag, you're going to have an ag exemption of some sort on there for the most part. I mean, I'm working with an investor right now. We're buying up, we're going to buy the $2 to $3 million range for land. They're going to put, they're doing some stuff with a company here people might have heard of. And so they need to put a facility where they can store stuff. And on the rest of the land, they're just going to put farm animals and stuff to help with taxes on the other part of it.
So Matt asked something about the airport. And I think I actually saw that there was an approval to extend the Austin airport. Do you remember hearing that discussion? I know.
No, so this morning I saw this on the news, Ian, Raj. I think it was somebody who was a candidate for the board for the Austin Chamber of Commerce or whatever. She was a candidate. I want to say she's a candidate because I just saw her like running. They were talking about adding more fuel tanks because they're running out of fuel. They don't have enough fuel to support all the flights. So they need to put more fuel on the tarmacs. They have less than 7 days worth of fuel. And she's like, well, as long as we can find an equitable way to do this. I'm like, an equitable way to do this is an airport. What are you talking about? Equitable way to do this? Like, what are you even like? What are the words coming out of your face? An equitable way to put this? Like, so you just want to be able to take money and give it to somebody else. Is that what you mean by equitable? I don't understand these words that you're using. Like, it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, the airport needs to buy more land or take and add more fuel so we can continue to fly, but you want it equitable? What are you talking about? Like, don't get my vote, lady. Sorry. Stupid. Anyway, ABIA issues we're having there. ABIA is an old B-52 air base, lots of expansion. They have lots of room to go, but what do you think?
Yeah, so the question is, you've got international airports in Dallas, here and in Houston. And in is San Antonio international? I would imagine so, right?
Yeah.
Being a Navy. So Austin sitting right in the middle, does it make sense to also expand that airport so much? I mean, apparently it does. If Elon doesn't hurry up and finish these tunnels.
It makes sense, but maybe the speed of it doesn't need to be as fast, right? Because you can take a flight. Like I've gone to Frankfurt through Houston and then through Europe. I've been to India where, we flew through Dallas. And I mean, yeah, ideally we'd want to fly out from Austin, but it's not incredibly inconvenient. And I think that really slows up the process of growth, especially for Austin. We can lean on our big brothers, Houston and Dallas.
I can't put this comment on the screen because we'll get demonetized.
I was looking at it too.
If you haven't seen Dinosaur D's comment in the comment, look at it. I can't put it on the screen and get demonetized. Anyway, I've heard that they're opening another wing or whatever, another hub there. There needs to be more expansion there. The other thing that I've heard with AVIA is that I lost my train of thought. It was, they've opened up a lot more flights. So there's more flights to different cities. Like I think there's more flights to, like they're opening up flights to Hawaii. They're opening up flights like all over. So there's more flights, but the problem they still run into is that Monday morning, everybody trying to leave Austin, which see you later. Thanks for coming to visit.
It's already an international airport. Someone just posted that comment saying it's needed. And I'm like, it's already international. It's just tiny.
You can fly to Jamaica from here.
Yeah. So
I do it every year. It's awesome.
I remember you go back pre-pandemic and they were talking about offering flights to Dublin, Ireland, I believe, for $99. Where's that? I mean, obviously things have changed, but I was so excited for that. I was like, you can fly to Europe for $99 from Austin? That's going to change everything. And then masks.
Yeah.
Now gas is double.
Yeah.
Costs have inflated. Stuff.
Inflation.
That's the problem with rumors. That is the problem with them. Speaking of, you saw Aaron posted earlier about the applied materials. I don't think that's a rumor. That was on like KView.
I posted that. I did a video on it. Yeah. So they have land there. They've applied for Chapter 313 funding. So basically they're asking the school district to give them a tax incentive to move there. Hutto is going through the process. I love somebody in the comments on that video wrote, leave it to Hutto to screw this one up.
Yes.
That was funny. Everybody craps on Hutto, but
applied materials is already here.
No.
They're in Pflugerville,
the answer to this
right?
question is no. Well, yeah, applied's here, but their question is at the mega site. No, this was actually just past the mega site. So you still have Micron that had been looking there and another company, which they didn't talk about. So
yeah. So what's interesting about applied materials is it's kind of right down the street from Tesla, right? So it's right on 290 and 130. So you've got applied materials. Samsung is a little ways off of 130.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them.
You're gonna have the other one's gonna be Taylor, yeah.
Just off of there. I mean, 130 it's becoming a hub, like quite the large hub of Austin.
And then right off 130, they're putting in their Target. I forget what the name they called it, but it was like a Target sub center where they're gonna depot basically.
Ooh, let's talk about that. There was a rumor about Tesla partnering with Target, like just Targets in general at a corporate level to install superchargers. If they're putting that Target in, I could see this being, that's a potential rumor. I'm making this one up though.
Well, the Target off 290 has like 16 stalls down there. I charge that one frequently.
Right. So you remember the rumor about, it's not a rumor, the conversation about Tesla putting out like eating centers. Like you can go in, you can get a burger while your cart is charging and maybe a small arcade or something that gives you an entertainment. Right. That's what I'm saying. So that a Target is a perfect fit for them to be able to do that and not necessarily have to build the full infrastructure.
Mm-hmm. Raj, do you own a Tesla?
I do. I got the 3.
Oh, we were gonna have to.
We are the 3 Tesla amigos. Yes.
Yeah, we were gonna have to like take him off. There you go. We were gonna have to like. If he said no, we were going this route right after that.
Okay, we got another rumor, Jeremy.
Yeah,
that you're going to the Giga Rodeo or whatever. It's a rumor.
Are you gonna meet Elon Musk? Is that the rumor?
The problem is we all have Teslas and none of us officially got an invite. What happened there? What? And we're here. We're in. Like, how did that come about? Who's controlling logistics? That's horrible.
Supply and demand. Taylor Morrison's in charge. Limited slots.
Yeah, Taylor Morrison.
Yeah, Taylor Morrison has 10,000 of the 15,000 tickets.
Yeah.
You know what's so interesting about Taylor Morrison? I remember Taylor Morrison some years ago had Tesla out at one of their models to do test drives for people, which was that was clever. That was genius right there.
Wait, say that again. I was reading this comment right here. What did you just say? I apologize.
Now that Taylor Morrison, they had Tesla employees come bring some cars out so people could test drive Teslas while they're visiting the model home.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
It is. That was a good idea.
We should start a tour company, because so many people want to come tour Austin, and we should just do it where we pay somebody to drive them around neighborhoods and like a Model X. And just have them like drive around. And
I was already trying to, I was an Airbnb superhost. I was already going to do that.
Pretty damn expensive thing to do, but
no,
you get charged.
Airbnb experiences, man.
Well, but I'm just saying, if you're going to pay for $130,000 Model X and drive people around to look at homes, that's expensive.
You just have to pre-qual them first.
Do you know what's funny is a large company asked me actually to do that, to take people on tours. I was like, no. Is this, big name company?
Is this the mouse company that's also looking at land with you? Maybe that's the rumor. Jeremy took down the video. And all of a sudden, he's working on the back end with them, right?
Yeah, they're right. They're naming a ride after me. It's called the Night Rider. We're going through legal tape to get that figured out. So, yeah,
I knew it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I do go, and I'm allowed to take my phone because not that I have an invitation, but the invitation says no professional recording materials, so no speakers so if I were to go and I did take my phone and I was allowed to take photos, I will post a crap ton of photos. That's if I go.
If you talk to Elon Musk, ask if he's bringing Twitter here now that as of today, I guess he's the #1 stakeholder.
And he's on the board.
Yeah,
right?
He's on the board.
And on the board. That's a whole nother bag of worms from real estate. But what are your thoughts on Elon buying Twitter?
I love it. I think it's funny because he keeps getting in trouble for being on Twitter. He's like, fine, I'll just buy it. Really?
What you can do when you're one of the richest people in the world, right?
Moment.
Yeah,
it's the best.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that he bought Twitter. I like that he was teasing it before, because a lot of people thought, oh, he's going to create his own company. But I mean, for 2.9, almost $3 billion, he could have created his own thing. The time to get it. Yeah.
We had past POTUS try to do that same thing. And how'd that go? Right.
Well,
it's not just easy to create a social network.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. He could have spent $3 billion creating something, but then you got to take time to acquire, you got to hire all the people. So spending $3 billion to sit on the board Now, I don't have $3 billion. Even if I had to spend $300,000 to get on a board, would it be worth it? That's what I got to look at. So I'm curious to see what influence he will have. I'm not on Twitter. I'm completely off of Twitter. If you try to find me, I'm probably on there, but I haven't tweeted in 2 years. I hate Twitter with a passion because every time I go on there, it's nothing but people fighting and arguing, and I don't have time for that. So I fight and argue with people here on REALMigos enough. So that I'm off Facebook too. The only place I go on is Instagram. It's nice and quiet on there. I see pictures of doodles constantly, and every time I talk about a product, I see it 10 minutes later. On Cloud Shoes, on Cloud ad. Boom, nailed it. So anyway, so I think getting on there, his whole free speech rant, I'm curious to see what happens from that. Anyway, any other thoughts on Elon buying Twitter?
Sounds like the possibility of another tech company coming here, and that doesn't seem surprising.
Yeah, because Twitter, do they have a presence here? I've never seen anything.
I don't think I've even heard of a satellite office here.
I like that.
Very few big tech companies we can say that, right?
Where does Jack Dorsey live?
Somewhere in Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah, but that's where everybody used to live.
Well, now I'm sure he's got multiple residences, but I think he's going more the direction of Square, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Right, but I'm just thinking like wherever he lived, and these people try to keep their businesses close to them.
Sure.
So, and that's why Tesla moved, Elon moved, and a lot of these other companies, their CEOs seem to be chasing dreams, Austin dreams.
I had something really intelligent to say until I read this comment. But then I was envisioning Jonah Hill trying to buy those boots.
That's so funny. And that's actually a Texas thing, right? Like you can't buy it in Texas still today.
I don't think you can buy them anywhere from the you can't
California you could. Not that I'm praising California. I'm just saying that's where you were buying them from California.
You can buy them right off the showroom floor, though, right?
You couldn't buy them off the showroom floor is the point.
Yeah. You could order them and there wouldn't be an 8-month delivery. It would be a week or two, right?
Especially within Fremont. And then it was like right out, boom. You were saying something in that comment. I'm just imagining, but I want these boots. God, man. Not the smartest time to buy an electric car. The infrastructure is not here and they take too long to charge. That's actually not a terrible comment. At this point, they're kind of like an expensive toy. There's certain chargers that do take a long time. I've always said I will not buy any other electric car other than Tesla. And I never wanted to buy a Tesla to begin with. Like, I thought it was a cool concept until I wanted to buy, I got tired of going to the gas station. So I didn't want to have a gas vehicle anymore. I bought a Porsche. Give me a break. I drive that like once a week. But the point is that while I'll never buy any other vehicle, is there's no infrastructure for the other vehicles. And so that's you can go to those charge point places, but they take hours to charge. I'm not a big fan of how fast they are. I mean, it takes like 30 minutes to charge a decent charge, right? I mean, if you had to fill up and get 250-mile range, isn't it about 30 minutes for you?
I actually have not charged at a charger yet. I just charge overnight in my house. It's off-peak hours. It's super convenient. And I don't think I've ever run into an issue with a lack of infrastructure. Even if I was caught on the road, they seem like there's chargers everywhere.
Yeah. And they've done a lot better in Austin. In fact, I noticed there was one in BK the other day. So I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I think so. My first year, I bought it the first year I owned it, I didn't have to pay at all to supercharge. And so that was lovely, right? And I took road trips just for that reason. I was like, might as well use it. But I've saved so much money on gas and, people panicking and not having to deal with it. My motorcycle cost me more money by far than driving my Tesla.
I I charged the other day and it was about, so I was down to nothing. I've been driving around all day. Was down to nothing. I had the trickle charger. I don't have the fast charger at my house. So I was like, I don't want to have to deal with not having as much juice tomorrow and charging tomorrow. So I stopped with my son. We grabbed In-N-Out. It was fantastic. And we're sitting there charging, and it cost like $11 to get just about 270 charge hours, miles, whatever. Like $10. That's going to cost me $40 to $50 easily if I filled that up in gas.
Oh, I know. I filled my truck the other day and it was like $80. I'm thinking, what? And that wasn't even premium. Like, what's happening?
Yeah. But at the same time, like this whole, like everybody needs to buy an electric vehicle is kind of a ridiculous idea. Think about it this way. If you could buy a $20,000 gas car, your payment's going to be X, right? It's going to be a lot lower than buying a $60,000 car. Like by the time, it's going to take you a ton of years to catch up to what the actual savings is buying a gas car. So I don't think that's necessarily the best answer. I've been the one on this channel. I mean, I think you backed me up on that. Even Elon said you need to drill more right now. So I don't know. Teslas.
He just wanted the stock to drop a little bit.
That's right.
Before he purchased Twitter.
That's right. That's smart. Shout out to Raj and him doing a video tour of the Pulte Lock Ridge floor plan. You the MVP.
Thanks. Hopefully, Tommy, you bought that plan. That's why I do them.
Nice. Our solar installer is backlogged in Texas. Ian did a video on solar. How'd that do?
Yeah, but I haven't talked to her in a little bit. That's a good question to see if right now they're backlogged, and it probably depends on what installer you're talking about, but I'd imagine all of them have a little bit of a backlog. But I don't know that for sure.
What's some more? So mine was the applied materials rumor. What other rumors we got?
If you want to be able to vote, you have to register by April 7th. Is that a rumor? That's a rumor.
Well, that's an Austin rumor.
I could take this a different direction, and it's something that I've been meaning to put a little bit more time into, but it's been a bit on the back burner. There was a realtor in the Avery Ranch area that does a ton of listings, and he did a really good video last year where he talked about in a multiple offer situation what's driving the prices, and he put the winning bidder on the left side and then the second highest bid on the right side. And the difference between the two prices were sometimes 50, 100, upwards of $200,000. And I looked up some of the price points that closed in the last 90 days, tried to match up some of the listings that he did. And I remember seeing a buying agent in there that I definitely recognize. In the Facebook groups, they're always advertising like a rebate. You know, they'll give you a percentage back. They'll just handle the paperwork. I say paperwork because it's just like an electronic DocuSign that they're doing. It's just kind of a way for the buyer to do all the work. And what's scary to me is for buyers that think they know what to make an offer on in such a fast-moving, dynamic market. A lot of times I hear people say you just have to go 20% over list. They have no idea that list prices sometimes come in high, they come in low. And I'm not surprised to see that there was a difference. I was surprised by how much, but the fact that the winning bidder, I think, was $990,000 on one, and the second highest bid was $795,000. So somebody paid almost $200,000 higher than the second when it's winning the second highest bid. I think that's really interesting that type of bidding is happening. And I'm not just seeing it on the resale market. I'm seeing it with new construction as well. You know, talking with builder agents, trying to get them to wrap their head around the last round of bids and what people are doing. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's interesting about that is I've seen that happen a lot more last year, not as much this year, but where you'll have like an offer 50 grand over list price, and then we get an offer like 150 grand over list price. And it's like, okay. And you know, a lot of times they're offering an appraisal waiver and all that, so you don't have to worry about it. But I think that's where, you know, and I said this in some of our, and most on all of our buyer consultations though, is we want to make sure that we're writing an offer. It's most like, in most cases, it's going to be over list price. But if we're going to write an offer over list price, we don't want to just throw some crazy offer out there that's well over list price. It's really stupid for the most part. Like, we want to do a lot of due diligence with that agent and make sure we're putting in an offer that's not going to be stupid, because you could win that offer 150 grand being the highest, 100, 200,000 over. Prices will catch up to you, but it's going to be a while before those prices catch up to you.
Absolutely.
Especially if the market flattens out this year.
Like, how would you feel if you knew that you paid 200,000 more for no reason?
Well, how much do you love the house now that you're in it too? So,
well, but for no reason. Like, right. The reason, if you love it and you knew that was going to win, and and the appraised value wasn't an issue, but to know, like, to come back and see that the next highest bid was 200,000 less, that's got to hurt a little bit, just a little bit.
I don't know if people are actually finding out what's actually happening in the new construction with bidding on lots is people keep asking, well, what did you bid, or what did they bid, or what did your friend bid to win? And so they'll hear a number like 200,000. And what's interesting is in a community like there was a community in Leander where I had somebody bid and win in January, and then the next month the base prices went up $80,000.
Oh yeah,
it's incredible. So people just bid higher than the last round, not realizing that base prices went up. So between January and February, the difference in a winning bid was $150,000 to $250,000. And even at the $1 million price point, there's no way prices should be escalating like that month over month. It's just a lack of education. Are you seeing that on different communities as well?
Yeah, we went to offer on a property in Cuernavaca, and you had to drive through a trailer park to get to this property. There's a bump gate to open up the gate, and chain link fences 3 feet tall on each sides between like the trailer park. So it was like really weird, like why you're driving through all this to get to a $1.7 million home. But when we looked at it, like the showings were all day long. There was not an opening until like 6:15. And I think Bloomberg quoted me in this article when I said this. This house listed for $1.7 million. We were going to write an offer on it and decided, you know what, this just isn't worth it. The neighborhood's okay, but like it's too much. I saw how much it sold for yesterday. How much do you think? $1.7 million, knowing there were showings all day. What do you think it sold for?
Did it
in
go
the chat
over
box below? No, giving what Raj just said, but we've talked about this being in the multi-million-dollar price point. The home listed for 1.7. It was an acre with a pool backing a creek. Literally, like the next door neighbor was a trailer and with a 3.5 foot chain link fence. I want to hear from you in the comments. 1.9 is one. Okay, that's good. That's a good one. I like that one, Trayvon. What else? That's wrong, but what else? Get much closer. Much closer. 2.125 rolling. Anybody else want to guess? Do you guys want to guess? $2.2 million. $500,000 over list price.
Wow.
500,000.
500,000 over on every home now.
I mean, as well.
That's right, exactly.
It was the craziest thing I saw. And I'm sure they had a lot of offers on it, but $500,000 more in a neighborhood that should have just sold at like 1.7 to begin with. So this is how crazy $3 million, 69 million. Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, that's crazy. And so I think that's important too. I mean, what's your process when, do you work with many of those, or do you just do them for the new builds when you're writing offers on the new builds? Because I've had a lot of people ask me what to write on new builds.
I try to get in with the builder agent, ask what's going on, and then also look at market dynamics. Like there was a community in Leander where Pulte had bidding each month, and then they shut off due to having such a big backlog with construction, and they were going to shut off for the next 2 months. And there were similar product lines between Pulte and another builder. So when that other builder brought up bidding, I thought it was going to be incredibly expensive, where, you know, I started trying to shift other people off and saying, do not make an offer that's incredibly high. Inventory will come back in this area. It's just a matter of time, and maybe put a bid within budget, but there's a low probability of winning. And so just kind of accepting the fact that people are going bonkers in an area and then trying to figure out different options sometimes is the best strategy, in my opinion.
It's funny is we just put one under contract for 850 in Leander. It was a brand new build and no competition at all. Like, I'm pretty surprised. So it's crazy how some stuff will have tons of offers and other stuff won't. And then you run into a lot of that new build that's still doing bids. And then I know I haven't seen this on the bids, but have you seen this? So I did a video about this a week ago talking about escalation clauses and some of these builders just raising the price to raise the price. Have you seen that with some of those bids where people writing 150 grand over that they see an escalation clause on it too?
I haven't seen anything like that. I think most of the bidding I've seen has been with a big box builder that most likely has the buying power to withstand any sort of future inflation. But I've been seeing some of the smaller builders that are still allowing to be builds putting in those price escalation clauses, because I'm sure they can't handle any sort of inflation on their materials. And I'm sure they've had a lot of issues with lumber prices going up and locking people in. So I think a lot of smaller builders are starting to write in. But as you both know, I mean, we've moved to inventory homes, right? 2022 was supposed to be the year of a lot of to-be builds coming back. Everybody late 2021 was saying Q1 2022, we're going to be back with build from scratch. And then January, February, almost everyone shifted to inventory homes so that they can avoid escalation, right?
Well, I don't know that they did it so they can avoid escalation. They did it. I mean, I'm still seeing stuff that's inventory that they're trying to escalate on. So,
Oh, wow.
I don't know. So the thing is, we still have 116 people a day moving here. I don't know what the exit number is, right? So I don't know what the exit number is, but do we know how many houses are being completed a day?
Right? Well, if we look at, that's a great question. So if we look at last month and we look at how many new construction homes actually sold, it was, I want to say for the MSA was less than 200. And we sold 3,600 homes total. That's stuff that's sold on the MLS though. So I'm sure there was more that closed off book.
Right.
So
what would you say? 50% more, or sorry, double the number?
I would probably say double the number. Yeah,
double. Right.
Let me pull up the actual number. Y'all converse.
So if we have 120 people moving here a day, and then we only have, what was that? 100 houses total closing, new builds that are closing, and then we have our resale homes. I mean, that still leaves plenty of people that need a place to live. Whether or not it's affordable, that's another conversation, because a lot of these people that are moving here, we don't know what their income is or what their assets are like.
So if we go by 2022 built and newer, it was 171 homes out of 3,400. So,
and Raj sold 30 of them. So,
yeah, right.
That's, I mean, so you're talking, if we just go off that number, let's say it's double, either way, the number doubles. So the number stays the same, but let's say, so what is that? Let's just call it, I would say 171 divided by 3,390. It's only 5% of the homes selling as new build.
Which that just blows my mind. We've got so much land. We have so many new builds that are always popping up, neighborhoods and everything. It's just, they're just not able to close them fast enough. They really aren't. And
Yeah, remember, wasn't there somebody that said that, oh, the real estate market's going to crash, there's going to be a flood of new build inventory?
I think I remember hearing that once or twice. Yeah.
Where's that guy?
Also, rents aren't going up with prices, right?
Oh, you see that channel too? Oh, it's funny.
I'll tell you, I like that channel in the beginning until I think he put out content, because I was there in the beginning, and maybe on his 5th video, and I like it. Information's good. But when he started putting out one video about the market crashing, that video took off. And like any YouTuber, when you find something working, you sometimes lean in. The problem is he's being very deceptive. And I'm sure you mentioned it in this channel before. He's finding different statistics or saying a certain statistic's not correct and then not correcting himself months later, like rents not going up. And then we see a historic increase in rents going up a couple months after.
What really irritates me about that, number one, he used to promote his videos on my channel before he started talking about crash.
You get in the comment section or what?
Yeah, he would post his channel link in my comment section.
Perfect.
So I had to block it. Well, I didn't block him, but I went on his channel. I'm like, dude, stop it. Like, so people could see it. So then he blocked me on his channel. So when I'd comment on stuff and like tell people like, hey, like this information is wrong, nobody would see it. That sucks. But what's interesting is the people from his channel used to come over to my channel and talk smack all the time. Like, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about because of this. And I know exactly where they're coming from because it's the same verbatim crap that he's saying. And then when it comes wrong, where are those comments at? Where are you at now? When I told you to buy in August, in September, because I said this is the best time to buy because prices are going to come back up. And he said, no, the market's crashing. And I was right again. Where's your comments now? Oh, you want to talk about inflation is going to crash the market? Okay. You want to talk about a recession is going to crash the market? 8 of the 9 last recessions, prices went up. 8 of the 9 last recessions, prices went up after the recession. So, and interest rates came down. So,
Jeremy, you feel some kind of way, don't you?
Look,
just like, oh,
no, I'm pissed because somebody came onto my channel spouting out crap nonsense and it made me look bad in front of my channel, which is fine. Like if I'm saying something wrong, go ahead, tell me I'm saying something wrong. If I put out wrong information, I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. But at least when I'm wrong, I'll come out and say I was wrong. There's been no correction to anything, to Roger's point. And when people come onto my channel and say the same BS that's not true and spout it on my channel, I know where it's coming from. It pisses me off. Like, be honest with people. What Raj said was like something that I think is is exactly why his channel is successful now, is because he just found something that works and he knows he can get views. So, okay, more views. If I want to do construction videos every single video and just say how bad construction is, I'd have all these views on construction videos because they're like my best performing videos. But I don't do them every single video because I want to be honest with people. And that's what pisses me off, is when people aren't honest with people. That's why people say, oh, you talk about so much negative crap on your channel. No, I don't talk about so much negative stuff. I'm giving people reality. Because I'm so like, I don't want to be the person that goes to a new city expecting high hopes and then all of a sudden all the crap that wasn't told about comes true. And now I hate what happened. I hate that I made this move. I hate that I wasted this money. And that's why I talk about things that aren't savory all the time. That's why I talk about Raj should have a mullet, right? So
you're keeping it real. No, I can appreciate that. But bottom line is he's definitely crossed like an ethical barrier, right? To just throw out deceptive statistics for definitely views. And I think there's no question that he's definitely crossed that boundary quite a bit. So
can we answer this question for Tasha? I actually really like this question. I brought it up
because I wanted to bring it up. Tasha Washington, yes or no, is moving to Austin really the ridiculous inflation, really worth the, hold on. Start again. Tasha Washington, yes or no, is moving to Austin really worth the ridiculous inflation costs? Go.
Okay, so I saw your industry, right? I think
she tech, is that what she said?
Real estate financing, private sector. I think as an entrepreneur, Austin is a very opportunistic city. Think about not just the people moving here, but the companies moving here and the amount of money that's coming to this space and a lot of progressive thought, such as, crypto. The crypto space is heavy in Austin. The Twitch gamer space is heavy in Austin. Like, there's all these things that are kind of unbeknownst to a lot of people of the world, but it's thriving here. And then all of the other sectors that are around. So as an entrepreneur, I think real estate obviously is doing well here. So I think depending on how you leverage that, it is a very good spot for you to relocate, even with what you would consider inflation.
Absolutely. When you say entrepreneur, I've looked on Google Maps. Yeah, right. And Tasha, when you
We're
say
talking gossip. We're allowed to be wrong on this video.
Yeah. And Tasha, when you say entrepreneur, if you work from home, I think your current circumstances definitely matter. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to over the last 3 to 4 months, and they said, I don't want to do another winter. I do not want to do another winter. And I'm from Pennsylvania, born and raised. I love where I grew up, but I would never go back, because once you do, jet skiing in the middle of December and it's 70s out in Austin and you experience the lifestyle down here, I think it's very difficult to make that move out. And it's no surprise that Texas and Florida is kind of taking everybody in, 0% state income tax, but the weather, I think, makes a difference. So I think for a lot of people, then it's well worth it, especially if you work from home.
So I think that's what's interesting. So I put out a video today, and the video, I found this article that just came out. It was a very recent article, and you're more than welcome to stop, pause here, go watch the video. It's 10 minutes long. Great. Pause now and then come back. So watch this video. But it was talking about the least and most affordable cities to live in. And it was like 155 or 156 cities. So I'm starting to go through this list, and I just said, you know what? And they said, here's the top 10. The top 10, like, there's cities that, let's be honest, South Dakota. How many people are going to Sioux Falls, South Dakota? Like, right? Like, how many people are going to some of those places that were on there? Ogden, Utah. I mean, I've heard it's nice. If I even said that right. A couple were in Florida, I think. So I started looking at this list, and on this list, I just said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, because I had 3 Texas cities were the most least affordable. So I'm like, okay, let's see what these top 3 least affordable ones are. The bottom of the list was like El Paso, like McCallum, Brownsville was down there. Those weren't the bottom 3, but there were 3 that were the bottom. I'm like, all 3 of these are not Austin. Well, let's find out where Austin is on this list. So I start scrolling up. Then I see McCallum. Then I see San Antonio. And then I see Houston towards the middle of the pack. Then I see Dallas at like 43 or 53, something like that. And I'm like, wait, I still haven't seen Austin. Am I missing this? So I scroll back down. No, don't see Austin. So scrolling back up. Now I'm in the 20s. Number 22. So if we're going most affordable down, Austin was number 22. Why is that? So the metrics they used was, 22 out of 156. That's pretty impressive. I mean, that's huge. A lot of it came down to people are, in fact, making more money in Austin because of the tech jobs. That's 100% it. Now, you're going to tell me, Jeremy, not everybody's working in tech. Not everybody's making that much money. I totally agree. It's not affordable for, I would say 40% of the people, it's probably not affordable for. There are 60% that are in tech jobs or wherever. Those numbers are probably wrong. But those people, it's affordable for still. And even when I moved here in 2012, it was affordable. 2013, it was affordable because that whole price of homes was so low and I was making more money. So the fact is that this whole tirade rant, I think it's really important people understand that incomes, because you're hearing one of the reasons why Austin's going to crash is incomes aren't catching up to prices of homes. Well, I hate to break it to you, but Austin is actually one of the most affordable Texas cities because it is one where people are making more money. Responses, questions.
Agreed. And I think we're also underestimating people's the equity that they've accumulated over the last 10 to 12 years in real estate. I was just talking to one of my clients in Seattle. When we first started talking, his home that he could sell was 1.7. Then a couple months later, it was 1.8. I just talked to him the other day. His same exact floor plan just sold last week for over $2 million. And people are I think it's difficult, like some channels that are saying for a bubble where the person who's running that channel doesn't own any real estate, it's difficult to comprehend the equity that is accumulated, right? And that's what's happening rapidly, where if you're a tech employee that's gotten stock options in a tech company that's recently gone public, you've bought real estate maybe a couple times, you're sitting on a 6-figure amount at least of real estate equity, and piling that into Austin is what's making the difference. And you've had Sarah on here before, who I always enjoy. It's not like people are taking out like 0% down loans or no income, no jobs. This doesn't feel like 2007. It just feels like a migration of high income tech jobs that are sitting on quite a bit of equity in California, Seattle, or some other city. Are you guys seeing the same thing?
Yeah, 100%. And I think what we're going to see is a lot of those people. So think about it like this too. So a lot of the people that are moving here, a majority of are selling their home somewhere else. And they, like you said, are having a decent amount of equity coming in here. I get a client moving from Canada that's looking over $1 million, selling a home over there, going to have a big chunk of change coming down here. So think about the people that do live here that are like, crap, I'm kind of priced out. What happens when they sell their home? Now, number one, they're probably not going to stay in Austin. They're going to move further outside of Austin, or they're going to move closer down the I-35 corridor, or they're going to move somewhere else, or they're just going to leave Austin in general. So that's probably why our net migration isn't as high, and why we're not ranked as high as like Florida, because it's still kind of expensive. It's still expensive there. They weren't very high on the list. Only a couple were like affordable. So if you're selling your home here for $500,000, you get a $200,000 note on it, you make $225,000, $250,000, and you move to Florida, or you move somewhere else, you move outside of Austin. Now you are the same thing that's happening with some of these people moving from California to here, Seattle to here, wherever to here. You were doing the same thing, driving up prices other places. Make sense?
It's a bit of a trickle down, or a trickle the other way up. Yeah.
Right.
Something like
so
that.
Those areas that are a little bit cheaper, if you're moving out to those areas that are cheaper, you're also helping cost prices in those areas to go up.
Sure.
You're the California effect somewhere else.
I was looking up some stats. I put a video on my channel. I mean, I think it was late last year or something like that. And the majority avatar, like the makeup of the person living in Austin, the majority was millennial men with a net worth of over $1 million. That's huge. I think that kind of puts into perspective what we're talking about when we're looking at what's affordable, what home prices are, what type of jobs people have, and then the people that currently live here competing with that.
What's interesting about that, I was running through the math in my head when you said that. So if I have $1 million and I buy $1 million house, but I finance and only put 20% down, my home is $1 million. Now I still have $700,000. I'm sure it's going to be in stocks or whatever. Now, if I hold on to that house for a year, we've seen prices, especially last year, go up pretty high. You're looking at Zillow still estimating like 20 something percent. So let's say we see gains of 15% in Austin. So now you see a 15% gain on your $1 million home. And when you sell it 2 years later, because you don't want to get hit with capital gains tax, now you've taken that $300,000 initial investment and turned it into a $500,000 investment, right? So you're getting a big return because you've taken 300. Yeah, you're going to make payments for 2 years. So now you're into it for 4, and then so you're making another $150,000 profit on that. Like, as long as you don't go over 250, because you don't want to get capital gains tax. That's not bad. I mean, but where do you go from there, right? You get a condo downtown. What do you think about Jerome Powell talking about increasing interest rates aggressively?
The stock market's had a nice bounce. I think we're getting a little bit more predictability with what he's planning on doing. And I think initially what we saw was definitely FOMO kick in, right? Interest rates are going up. It's definitely a rush, a surge into real estate. I'll be really curious what happens this spring and summer, because I think people keep calling for things to calm down. It kind of keeps going in the opposite direction, but of course, eventually it needs to calm down. I think the tough part though is, demand is still strong here in Austin specifically, because we're still better than a lot of other areas out there where people are doing the hybrid commute or they're in tech. But I think inventory is going to be the toughest part, is when do we get that back? Because as you both stated with inventory, some of these big builders are only bringing up 2 home sales a month. I mean, that's nothing with hundreds of buyers on the market interested in their product.
Yeah, I like the word. I like FOMO. You've got FOMO. That's going to kick in for a lot of people. Lenders, they can't ride the refi train right now, because that's no good. So
Yeah.
it's going to be very buyer heavy. And if sellers see that, they're going to be chomping at the bits if they have an opportunity to go somewhere. So another thing I'm going to see is a lot of people this is my prediction. I'm going to see a lot of people that are in the Austin market investing outside of the Austin market so that they can plan their exit strategy. That's what I think is going to happen.
You mean buy and then potentially move into that home in the future, Ian?
So like I've got a buddy who just bought something like 200 acres 2 hours north of here. Wow. And he was like, I'm here now, but in 20 years, I don't want to be here. Once my kids are gone and I don't have to work here and, Starlink catches up, that's the perfect place for him.
Yeah, we have a place in Sal Padre. So that's a good point. We have a place in Sal Padre. We're actively looking for other investments in Sal Padre. My whole exit goal, be done with real estate at 45 and be able to spend time. I basically just want to sell my book of business, move to Sal Padre and fish and spend more time with my son. That's it. Play baseball, do that. I wouldn't live in Sal Padre full time, but that's my goal. Somebody asked me my goal today. So anyway, Sal Padre's where's that? Raj, what's your goal?
Goal is probably something similar. My wife and I just had our first daughter 6 months ago.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. I don't know about 45 though. That's that's good. I mean, that's a few years, but I would say something similar. Yeah, spend more time. I've been getting onto this virtual reality ping pong game. I finally picked it up this past weekend, so I want to put some more time into that. Start working out on my VR headset. Spend more time doing that as well.
Is it 11 table tennis?
Yes.
I'm going to send you an invite right after this.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I had that Oculus for a couple months. I finally picked it up and did something with it.
How the heck do you have time to play? Well, Ian doesn't have kids, so he's got 2 fur kids. How do you have time to play on the Oculus? I don't get it. I just don't have time for that.
I just played with my brother-in-law for maybe 20 minutes. So it's kind of fun to do this past weekend, but it's nice. You can pick it up, put it down. It's easy.
I think it depends on if you're ever in a spot where everyone else is asleep, but you're just, your mind's racing, but you don't want to spend time doing work, right? Then that's a good outlet.
Ping pong, go figure. You got it down, Mark.
Well, you still got to keep your body healthy, your mind healthy, your body healthy, all that. You got to keep moving, man. We've been sitting still for 2 years. I hate it.
It's true.
So mine, since you didn't ask me, my plan is I want a blue ocean zone property. And if we haven't talked about that, blue ocean zones are places where people naturally live to over 100, just automatically, because clean food, usually there's a beach involved, right? Blue ocean. And it's a beautiful spot. I just want to have a place to go do that, go be there instead of always all of the running around that is Austin. I love it here. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, top 1% Google local guide. I am always everywhere doing something, and I do live for that. But sometimes when I need to pause, I've got my camper, and now I'm focusing on a blue ocean opportunity.
I missed the first part of that, Ian. Is there a specific location of where that is?
There are a handful of them in the world, and I believe I've been to almost all of them. Like Nosara, Costa Rica is one. San Diego, ironically enough, is one of those.
Oh,
Okinawa, Japan, and there's one in Italy. is it Sicily? But they're all just places where people just live over 100 all the time. No, it's not about going to the hospital. It's just they have a clean, simple, easy life. And I think that's all what we're all working for,
right?
At the end of the day, right?
I don't know if you know this, Ian, but I checked the analytics. We're huge in Japan, our channel. So we're huge with the Japanese market. Yep.
Wait, your channel or my channel? I don't think I'm huge in Japan. I should be.
Yeah. They call me Mr. Big Time.
That's weird. You don't even have an Oculus. They wouldn't call you that.
Yeah.
End goal achieved already.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm pretty good at karaoke, if you haven't guessed. So karaoke. All right. What else we got here, Raj? We brought you on. I feel like, all right, I want everybody to rate Raj right now. We're just going to give him a live rating. So like this was a job interview and your boss just giving you feedback. Are we bringing Raj on as the third Migo? Is the chemistry right? Do we need to bring back Kevin? Sorry, Raj. Drop some comments below because I want to hear from you. Let's do like, normally we could off an hour and 15. We're at an hour 20. Let's take off for like 10 more minutes. What up?
We should definitely bring back Kevin. Nobody can replace the mullet.
Yeah, nobody can replace the mullet.
Listen, you could get a mullet.
10 out of 10.
Like for
Look
real.
at this.
I don't think it's possible if you're Indian.
That's what makes it even better. Heck yeah, man, embrace it.
Yeah,
you're trend setting, okay?
Trends, yeah. Do you? So let me ask you this: all of my neighbors that I love, that are Indian, love cricket. Are you a cricket guy?
No, I mean, keep in mind, I was born in Pennsylvania, so
okay, all right.
I grew up with a wiffle ball league. You know, cricket's tough. You need a big
wiffle ball league. Now I'm in.
Yeah.
Come over to my house. We'll get it going.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll bring it back. But no, I think cricket's, it's big in India. It's just tough to get into here. You need a ton of land for that.
I don't understand it, man. My neighbors have tried to teach it to me, and I'm just like, they brought me over, and we did like 5 hours of watching this, and I'm like, guys, I gotta go. I still don't get it. Like it was tough.
Yeah, we went to India once. We brought back a cricket set, and we played with a racquetball. First pitch, my brother just launched it into the next neighborhood, and then that was it. That was our experience for cricket. Basically, that one pitch.
You need to move like not Treviso, but over High Point. They got a big field for you over there. I'm sure you could knock it out of there. So, just living in that Treviso life. What's the tax rate in Treviso now? Like 99%?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Price of homes over there is $4 million. I mean, I'll still feel more. If you want to buy a $4 million house with me and Raj can list it, and we'll get a deal going for $4 million in Treviso at 99% tax rate. Let's go. I'm in. We'll get you going.
I gotta defend Treviso for a second. They
go ahead. Yeah, it's good. It's good information.
I'm like, where did I go? Okay, I get it. No, it's a beautiful community. I do get it. It is tough. I'm not a fan of the bidding there. It's wild. Beautiful hills though. It's tough to compete with that.
They're beautiful hills. Just that in and out. Are they? Man, they need more roads or something.
Well, they got a new phase coming up later this year. It's in the back of the neighborhood, so it should be pretty big.
That'll be clean. I like that.
Yeah.
Did I mute again?
No, we can hear you. I'm sorry.
My thing keeps
laughed
going
so hard I swallowed my tongue. I'm like,
Ian. Oh wait, that's on my channel. Hold on. Somebody asked what your channel was. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to be a nice guy here.
It's just ianofAustin. It's fine. I comment. You can click on my comments.
Oh, there we go. Oh wait, it's because my videos show up on your homepage. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Here you go. ianofAustin. Oh wait, I'm not sharing screen. Here we go. Share screen. Boom. Oh my God. Technology sucks.
It's fine, man. It's dinner time.
Here we go. Are you hungry already? What's up with this face that you have?
Oh my
Never
gosh.
forget
I paid
it.
some girl on Fiverr to make me a banner, and I was like, this sucks. But I
Bro,
just
I
didn't
use
change
this
it.
same exact Samsung background over here on houses near 17 billion. Jeez. And you got this guy right here with the REALMigos. I mean, he's got a pretty looking face right here. What did they say? Most punchable face? Punchable
Something like
face.
that. Punchable or pinchable or who knows.
Oh man. There's the answer. Oh wait, now we gotta find Raj. Hold on.
Who's this Don Caballero? Who's that?
Nailed it. Look at that face. You're catching up, dude. Almost 3 million subscribers. Go away. Get out of here. Come on.
I got to post. It's been a few months, as you can tell.
Jeez, man. Get back at it.
Yeah, right.
You know what's interesting is I've done like these videos where I do a walkthrough and I get 0 views on them. Is it just how you're titling them or what?
I have no idea. I just post them.
Yeah, because
he doesn't put his face there. No, that's not
No.
true. That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, I get that. My face is definitely distracting from that, but like 11,000 views on that. That's great, man. Good job. But like Suman does a lot of these walkthroughs and I don't get it, man. I guess it's just, I guess maybe I'm not as thrilling doing a walkthrough, but I am filming one tomorrow. So we'll see how that turns out. So freaking Kevin. All right, there you go. We almost made an hour and a half, everybody. Say goodbye to Raj. If you vote in the poll, in the critics poll, in the peanut gallery, and vote him in or out, above 60%, he gets in. So let's see how that poll goes. All right, we'll catch you in the next